Not long ago, this was uninhabited defense land at the border of India and Pakistan. Today, this part of the Kach desert in the western Indian state of Gujarat has been transformed into a sea of solar panels and wind turbines. Once fully operational, this plant will generate close to 10% of the 500 gigawatts of renewable energy that the country aims to produce by 2030.
ये सीधा जाना है रोड पे, जहाँ रोड जा रहा है वहाँ से मुड़ के वापस आना है.
Maninder Singh Pantal is one of the men tasked with completing the 18 billion euro project. Owned by Gautam Adani, Asia's second richest man, this plant has been built in partnership with the French company Total Energies.
We are spread across 538 square kilometers, which is approximately 5 times the size of Paris. So it's already the world's largest. It is going to power 16.1 million homes, which is approximately the number of homes in Canada and a country like Poland.
This plant will be home to 60 million solar panels and almost 800 wind turbines when it is completed in 5 years.
It will reduce the carbon dioxide by so many millions and millions of tons. It is something which all of us take tremendous amount of pride in, and it is going to set world standards which other countries, I'm sure, will follow in the near future.
Maninder says this arid region close to the coastline is an ideal location for a plant of this scale.
We've got absolutely strong summer conditions, plus we are having the second best solar radiation in the entire country.
These renewable plants are critical to India's growing energy requirements, especially when it comes to fulfilling its pledge of net zero emissions by 2070. India's capital, New Delhi, with over 25 million people, is ranked amongst the most polluted cities in the world. And the 8 million vehicles on the roads are the largest contributors to greenhouse gas emissions. But the city's metro, used by over 5 million people every day, is considered a success story in sustainable urban transportation. Many stations are powered by solar panels like these. The Delhi Metro became the first rail network to earn carbon credits from the United Nations for cutting greenhouse gas emissions. Anuj Dayal, Delhi Metro's executive director, says the corporation earns around 5.2 million euros worth of carbon credits every year.
Today, in our operational requirement, almost 1/3 of the energy which is used in running the metro, it comes through non-conventional sources. That it comes through solar energy and similar type of sources. You see, when our trains, when they break, 33% of the energy is reused in the train.
But New Delhi, like the rest of the country, meets more than 60% of its energy needs through coal. Climate expert Vimlendu Jha took us to a closed-down thermal power plant in the heart of Delhi.
It's almost like a monument of the old days of modernity, so to say, because we talk about 91 is when economy opened, the energy need, the urbanization need of Delhi or of the country actually. So a lot of that was pumped by power stations like these that were actually set up in several other cities. So coal, not just today, but earlier, was the main proponent or the main driver of India's economic growth.
For Vimlendu, India's dependency on coal-powered energy is a huge concern. More than 200 thermal plants are operational in the country, and the government continues to allocate coal mines to private companies for exploitation.
To ask India to slow down its basic growth or its pathway to development because we are a very, very big emitter is somewhat unfair. India needs to reduce its footprint, India needs to work on climate change, but India also has its own domestic requirement because poverty alleviation is the primary concern.
But India's emissions problem doesn't end there. It is also the third largest emitter of methane in the world. Livestock and rice farming are the two major sources of methane emissions in a country where 60% of the population depends on agriculture. How the crop is cultivated will be crucial in reducing methane emissions. That's exactly what Dr. Sura Naresh Kumar, a scientist at India's premier agriculture institute, is trying to do.
This is a chamber method what we use. I'll show you how we measure the methane and for that matter nitrous oxide as well.
Rice needs standing water for growth, which blocks oxygen from reaching the soil, creating conditions for methane production. This institute has developed varieties of rice that grow faster, use less water, and emit less greenhouse gases.
We have technologies which are being promoted in large areas, not only for the paddy methane emission reduction, but also from different other crops where while improving the efficiency of the inputs, we are also reducing the GH emissions.
India is extremely vulnerable to climate change, with droughts, heat waves, and erratic rainfall becoming more frequent and severe. In 2022 alone, according to the World Meteorological Organization, India lost close to €4 billion due to climate-related disasters.